Good day. Thank you for joining us for the Victory Charter School's new parent orientation. We're really appreciative of your time to join us as we explore what makes our program so great. Just so that you do know, this is one of multiple orientation videos. We will also have a K-5 curriculum video for grades kindergarten through 5th grade, grades 6 through 12 curriculum video. We're working on an orientation to our sports program. And maybe as parents request other topics as they're new to our school, we will continue to add modules. So that way you don't have to watch the entire sequence, but just those parts that you're interested in. On the call with me, we have several members of our administrative team. I'll introduce myself. My name is Artur Glantz, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer of the management company, National Academic Educational Partners. Nice to meet you. And we also have our administrative team. Ms. Burgos?
Hi, my name is Jasmine Burgos. I am the Assistant Principal of Instruction at Victory Charter School.
Hello, new families. My name is Gary H. Cruz, and I am the Assistant Principal of Operations at VCS.
Good evening, parents. My name is Mr. Guillermo Moreno. I'm the proud principal of Victory Charter Schools. Welcome to this presentation.
Thank you, administrative team. One of the things that we really care about and that we strive for at every grade level is empowering our graduates with a choice. At the 12th grade level, and as students graduate our school, it's not our responsibility to force students to go to college or university, but it is our sacred responsibility to give students the choice to go to college, to go to university, to go to a grade school. And that choice goes all the way through 5th grade and through kindergarten, through all the grade levels. Whether it's through our academic programming, the electives that we offer, some of the clubs that we're working to integrate within our program. Choice is something that's very important to Generation Z, our current generation of students. It's important to their parents, and therefore it's important to us. Part of the program concepts that really filter into giving a diverse choice for our families is our most important offerings and the things that really differentiate us and make us great. As you see here, we really have a strong focus on leadership and social emotional wellness, which means that we want our students not just become participants in society, but leaders, because leadership is a part of our charter. And in order for students to become leaders and to become successful students, we empower them to be healthy physically, socially, and emotionally. And that's part of the modern social, emotional wellness focus that all schools have. We just like to think that we are among the best at that. We will talk more about that later in the presentation. We do have a state-of-the-art amazing facility that we have maintenance and upkeep regularly. We have a fantastic award-winning sports program, which you can view the different presentation for. There you can see the picture of our baseball team. And our top-rated curriculum, which Ms. Burgos will talk about, includes the research-based programs that make sure that students get exactly what they need at a rigor level that matches where they need to go. The other thing that we find foundational to our culture is these little smiling faces you see here on the screen. You can have the best program, you can have the best instruction, but none of that matters if you don't have happy students. Now, are the students going to be super happy when they're taking a difficult math quiz or doing a super hard social studies project? Maybe not. That's okay. But as long as they have those happy moments in their classrooms and extracurricular activities, and through the relationships that we as adult educators form with those students, that's what we really prioritize the most beyond the different curricular and building components that we spoke about. One of the things that we have that's unique to a school is our K-12 environment. Mr. Moreno, you want to talk about the benefits of being a K-12 school?
Definitely. So being a K-12 is a great thing because parents just drop off one time in the morning and pick up in the afternoon. So we are 2 schools within one, a K-5 and also a 6-12. Basically, what we want to do is make sure that we have that culture established from the beginning, kindergarten all the way to 12th grade.
We do separate the buildings, of course. The K-5 students are all in one building with their own bathrooms, their own facilities, and the 6 through 12 students are in another side of the building. What we found is that the siblings caring for one another before and after school is something that parents find convenient, and we try to permeate that throughout the entire culture. Mr. Moreno, you want to talk about how we keep things safe and structured at Victory?
Victory Charter School strives for safety first, and because of that, we have a school resource officer on campus from the Osceola Sheriff's Office. We also have a rave panic button application that every staff member is trained. We also have a full camera surveillance and consistent staff trainings and drills throughout the school year. And we take those very seriously in case, and God forbids, nothing like this will occur at our facilities.
Mhm. Unfortunately, in this era, safety is a question that parents usually ask first. The RAVE app was a new addition in our 1920 school year and ensures that even if there's a suspicion of a fire or, God forbid, an active assailant or shooter, something in that regard, any teacher can press that button and they are trained through the protocol to use the application to ensure that authorities are alerted immediately. In addition, anytime that the official school day is taking place, that on-site school resource officer is armed. The individual is trained to conduct him or herself appropriately within the school environment. And our staff is also trained on what happens if, God forbid, there is an assailant or an unknown person in the building, to make sure that every single step that we've taken that we can take, to make sure that our kids and our staff are safe, that those steps are taken appropriately. Part of what keeps us safe is also the culture and the climate in the building. Mr. Cruz, you want to talk about how we do that?
Hello again. Here at VCS, we have implemented a PBIS model that promotes positive behavior through a system of interventions and supports. We believe in modeling the expected behaviors that we would like our students to be reflected in the classrooms and throughout the school. The programs are the cornerstone of our behavior system. It includes processes that have been established to ensure that students are consistent in the behaviors that are expected, and the teachers also have received training on how to be consistent in the implementation of these expectations and behaviors in the classroom and throughout the school. Our students receive points, rewards, and incentives once the behaviors have been identified. They have been also rewarded based on how many points they get, and then that they get prizes and events that we promote to ensure that the students know that positive behaviors have a consequence, and these consequences are very, very positive for all of them. We also in our school, we follow a code, and our code includes 7 elements that you see here on the screen, and some of them are take learning seriously, come to class prepared, on your own actions, and throughout the years, we have mentored our students in actually not just knowing these behaviors, but also being able to follow and implement them in their daily activities in the school.
Thank you, Mr. Cruz. And if I can add to that, one of the things that oftentimes students struggle with is different expectations depending on the grade level or teacher. And so the various processes from how to manage classroom behavior to what the expectations are in the hallway, making sure that they're documented and communicated, not just to the teachers, but to the students, ensure that we have that smooth culture and climate throughout the building. The other elements that really we prioritize at Victory are leadership and wellness, as we mentioned earlier in the presentation. Particularly at the 6th through 12th grade level, we prioritize leadership because we are a leadership school. We do that through the focus on Sean Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens, which a lot of parents and students are familiar with. And as you see, ranging from being proactive to seeking first to understand, then to be understood, which even we as adults need reminders of sometimes. Students understand the skills that make them be successful in the classroom, and even more importantly, beyond the classroom, because self-development is a crucial step to being able to develop your own sense of leadership and leading others The 7 habits become a part of a class curriculum in specific classes, and they become a building focus both visually with our 7 habits posters in the hallways, and during different assemblies and teacher-student conversations and all that good stuff. The other part of our curricular and social emotional approach to having students succeed is specific courses that focus on mindfulness, on emotional, cognitive, and social well-being, as well as how to physically stay healthy. As you see here on the slide, whether it's the disengagement level of students and them falling behind, or the fact that at least 1 in 8 students are having at least one mental disorder as of 2017, and how that number is growing as time goes on with regards to mental health disorders. A lot of times students are not successful in school, not because they can't understand the material, but because of their lack of readiness to learn. And so through various social emotional curriculum elements, we work on making sure that students understand how to organize themselves, how to maintain calm, what to do if they feel frustrated or if they feel stressed, how they should come to class, to school, and how they should prioritize it, time at home, and how they think about their minds when it comes to, am I in the right state of learning, or do I need to work on it so that I can come to class or come to the school prepared? So the social emotional wellness is kind of that foundation on which we build the house of education, which we strive towards at Victory Charter Schools. And that foundation results in them being able to be ready for a research-based curriculum. Ms. Burgos, would you like to tell the parents a little more about the instruction that we offer?
Absolutely. So as you know, a school without an effective instructional core is like a car without a working engine. It just won't function. So at Victory Charter School, we select our curriculum based on research of effectiveness and how it meets the needs of our individual students. The curriculum used in each of the grade levels and subject areas are rigorous, engaging, and it requires students to use the knowledge to create solutions and apply the solutions to complex real-world problems. Our teachers design lessons that are student-centered. As our tour, Mr. Glantz mentioned at the beginning of the video of this module, we've created 2 separate video presentations with specific information for the K-5 curriculum and another video for the 6 through 12 curriculum. We invite you to watch those videos for more information regarding our curriculum for those specific grade levels.
Part of the program that empowers our curriculum is what we call the digital frontier at VCS. 3rd through 5th grade classrooms, as well as core content area classrooms, have a very Iron Man-like state-of-the-art interactive flat panel that teachers use to make instruction more engaging, and students actually use and manipulate the technology so that they can demonstrate their thinking. So it's a two-way tool. We also have over 200 computers and in just the labs alone, as well as a good amount of computers throughout the classrooms, especially our reading and mathematics classrooms, so that students can have differentiated instruction, whereas the teacher can be working privately with a group of students, while other students are using some of the digital instruction that Ms. Burgos will talk about here.
Definitely having technology in the classroom is very beneficial for the students. At Victory Charter School, we use 3 different digital platforms that allows us to obtain the most up-to-date, actionable data that makes it a breeze to track student progress, pinpoint trouble spots, and more. 3 programs that we use at Victory are adaptive and used across all the grade levels. The first one that you see on the screen is iExcel. iExcel features interactive question types that heighten curiosity and put learning at the student's fingertips. With math, English language arts, or ELA for brief, science and social studies, learners are inspired to discover the joy of learning. Students are encouraged to meet their goals through friendly school-wide competitions and incentives. iExcel is research-based, and it aligns to some of the curriculum that we use at the school, which it will be described in further detail in our curriculum videos that you were invited to watch. The next program that we use, digital platform that we use, is iReady. iReady is a research-based digital platform that supports teachers with in-the-moment resources for remediation and reteaching, whether it's individualized, small group, or whole group instruction. iReady delivers online lessons that provide a tailored instruction and practice for each student to accelerate their growth. Okay, throughout the year, we have diagnostic assessments and growth checks that provide our teachers, students, and parents with information regarding student progress. And throughout the year, we also have several competitions, whether it's in class with the teacher or school-wide. iReady is used for math and reading for grades K through 8. The last platform that I will describe is the Reading Plus digital platform. Reading Plus is also adaptive. It is an adaptive reading intervention platform that integrates comprehension, vocabulary, motivation, and reading efficiency into one program. Reading Plus serves all students to increase their vocabulary, comprehension, endurance, memory, silent reading fluency, and provides the ability to systematically master high levels of text. Reading Plus is guided, silent reading supplementary intervention, and it is implemented in grades 3 through 12. Just as I mentioned in iExcel and iReady, there are several Reading Plus friendly competitions throughout the year, which really motivates the students to meet and exceed their goals that they've set for themselves at the beginning of the year.
One of the things that parents get most excited about our digital programs is that when schools stop, learning doesn't have to. Students are able to do iExcel and Reading Plus on any device and iReady on a computer, so that beyond the bell time, especially for our students and scholars that need a little more support, a little extra push, these programs really make that possible. We really do a thorough job of training parents to understand these programs so they can also support from home. And speaking of different levels of support, we maintain that through our MTSS plan. Mr. Guillermo Moreno, you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Most definitely. So just like Ms. Burgos mentioned with the diagnostics, we take those, analyze those, and for those students who are in need, that's why we have the multi-tier system of support where students go through the different tiers. Tier 1 is for every student, and those that might need an extra support, they go into a Tier 2 intervention program. And for those that are 2 years or more behind grade level, we have a Tier 3. These interventions are focused, and students get that extra individualized help to make them become successful. So this is our multi-tier system of support where we're working with our struggling students to reach grade level mastery.
Mm-hmm. And it also guides the types of materials and the amount of minutes in each content area for math and reading that the students get. So really make sure that we as educators do our jobs depending on the specific needs of the students. And speaking of the needs of the students, one of the things that the modern classroom, whether digital or physical, requires is that there's a level of consistency. Foundationally, we have this model classroom checklist, as you see here, which we do update from year to year based on the needs of the students. And what that is a guide for teachers to ensure that all the things that a student needs in a classroom to learn successfully, that all those things are there, are attractive, and are functional. Because the classroom should be more than just neat, should be more than just pretty, it should be user-friendly for the students. So whether that means I need to access the vocabulary as a student that we've learned this year, I can look on the left wall. If I want to see how we're doing as a class or how I'm doing as an individual in the class by my student ID, of course, not a name, then I look at the back wall. Other common board configuration concepts include having an agenda on the wall, making sure that I know what we're learning today. In essence, when a student walks in, they know what is where, and all those elements help them learn even better and in a smoother way. The other tool that we have is called Go Plans, and that's for teachers to lesson plan together, and for administrators and our instructional coaches, which we have two, sometimes more, for those individuals to help support our teachers with their lessons, so that it's not just a here's what we're going to cover, here's what we do, work on your assignment, and we'll grade it at the end. The modern lesson requires a level of getting students engaged, selling them on why this is cool, important, or useful, and really a different type of trajectory for each content area standard that you're learning. So old lesson planning, paper pencil style, didn't really do that. So as a school, we have Go Plans, which not only make sure that all the portions of the required lesson are there, but also that teachers can look at, okay, let's see what they're doing in 8th grade if I'm a 7th grade teacher to get my students ready. Let's see what they should have done in 6th grade so I can see what they're coming to me with. So as you can see, everything from the physical environment to the design of the lesson, we try to do by design. The other thing that we do by design is empowering our students for success. Ms. Burgos, you want to talk to the parents about how we reach that A goal?
Absolutely. So the opportunity to regularly own and work with data can be transformative for our students. Students who consistently track their performance are better informed on how they're doing, and they hold themselves accountable to do better. And they tend to be more confident learners. On the screen, you'll see a template for our data chat forms that is used school-wide. As you can see there, we have the 3 digital programs that I described a little earlier in this video. Basically, at the beginning of the year, when the students come into whatever grade level they're coming into, the teachers sit with them and have an individual attention, conversation one-to-one with the students, where they discuss with the students their previous score on their state assessment. And after the student takes the diagnostic assessments for each of the digital programs, the students then use the data to set goals for themselves. Throughout the year, there are several progress checks and assessments outside of the assessments that the teachers, standard assessments that the teachers do administer within the classroom. There's these digital progress checks that occur within the 3 programs I described earlier. And after those progress checks, the teachers then again sit down, have the conversation with the students. The students calculate how you know, where they are based on the goals that they set at the beginning of the year, which is really nice because this information doesn't just stay in the classroom. As you can see at the bottom of the form, this information does get shared with the parents, not only with a phone call to the parents or maybe a parent conference to inform our parents about the progress of the students, but also through this form being sent home with the student, so the student can also explain to the parents how they are performing in class, which leads to them having those accountable talks with the parents, and the parents being informed on the student progress throughout the year. We also offer at Victory Charter School a tutoring program that's designed to help our students achieve their goal. The tutoring program is called the Journey to Success program. And this program is open to all of our students who are encouraged to participate. Lastly, I will discuss one of the initiatives that we have at Victory Charter School is called the LEAD program. And LEAD stands for Learners Who Engage with and Analyze Data. And basically, that is a mentorship program where each of the administrators of the school adopts a certain group of students and provides them with support throughout the year and follows up with them throughout the year, and gives the students that go-to person which is an administrator, and it's very nice to have that.
Specifically, that program is reserved for those students that might be 1 or 2 years behind their grade levels, because they might need, whether it's extra motivation, whether it's something social emotional, or whether it's an extra level of academic resources. As you could see by Ms. Burgos' in-depth explanation, we really try to make sure that students own their success and empower them with the tools to do something about that. Speaking of success, we have a great deal of programming that makes sure that students are bound for college, should that be the decision from the family and the student. Mr. Moreno, you want to talk about our PSAT and SAT offering?
Definitely. This past school year, 2019-2020, it was the first time that we actually had our 8th graders start taking our PSATs, as well as also our 9th, 10th, and 11th graders. They took the PSAT at the beginning of the school year, and at the end of the school year, we had our juniors and seniors also taking the SAT, preparing them to become college bound.
And to further their journey to become college bound, we have advanced placement courses. For next year, we will go from 3 to 10 AP courses, ranging from AP Environmental Science to AP Literature to AP Spanish Language. For more details on the AP curriculum, please view the 6 through 12 curriculum video presentation. What's really cool about the AP courses is that it saves parents money, because when students go to college, if they pass the AP exam at the end of the year, typically most universities offer 3 credits. That could vary depending. And with all the classes that we offer at Victory, if a student really gets serious about taking the more advanced and rigorous classes, they can earn up to 30 college credits as of now, and our AP course offering will grow as the years continue. We also have dual enrollment opportunities. A lot of our students at VCS are, let's say go to our building the first half of the day and then go to actual college courses, whether at Valencia or other institutions, so that they again get ahead in that college credit race. And speaking of what happens beyond school, we offer for the first time ever in 2021 our student academies. Not every student is necessarily going to be college bound. Again, our responsibility is to make sure they can make that decision. But a lot of students lose engagement in high school and even middle school because of that generational question that we as parents are so used to: what's in it for me, or why does this make a difference to me? So having heard that question so often, we created these academies to really connect to the student interests of this generation in our community specifically. We did work with our student council to vet the ideas through, and they were super excited. Some of the seniors that were graduating were actually kind of upset that they didn't get that experience, which we understood. The 4 academies that we offer are, the first one there is the Leadership, Entrepreneurship, and Hospitality Academy. Whether the student wants to be a professional YouTuber, whether they want to create their own business, or they want to go into Orlando's thriving hospitality and tourism industry, this academy will go through accounting classes, marketing, and really the core skills that a student needs in business and leadership today. We also have a lot of students that love sports, but don't necessarily plan to play sports professionally or even in college. They want to do the back end of sports. So Sports Science and Management Academy empowers them to do the health and wellness side of sports, which is like physical therapy, healing, athletic preparation, etc. And the management side of the sports business, which is sports law, sports management, becoming an agent. So just because you're not an athlete doesn't mean that you aren't passionate about the world of sports, as we know so many students are. We also have the Scientific Inquiry Academy, which is super cool because that explores the medical field through a hands-on approach, through classes like practical human anatomy, emergency resuscitation services. This really positions students if they want to go right into a medically driven career after school, or if they want to do the long-term dance of becoming a doctor or nurse. And lastly, given that we have so many students who have English as a second language and more often than not Spanish as a first language in our community, we offer the Dual Language Academy. This academy offers students instruction in their home language for a humanities course or other course. and it offers a higher level of support for English language acquisition. The other cool thing about this academy is it's understandable that students, when they are new to the country or new to the language, they might be a little nervous intermixing when they're not as comfortable. So this creates a cohort of students that understand the journey that their friends are going through, and creates a support system as they get used to the school, the country, the language, or all or some of the three. Speaking of engaging our students, Mr. Cruz, you want to talk about our student council?
Absolutely. In order to promote even more student engagement in our school, we just started our student council for grades 6 through 12. Through the student council, students are able to voice any concerns that they might have, or the whole student body and that they represent. And together with the administration, we have given them a platform where we together can look for ways to solve some of these issues that impact and might be affecting our students. Also, it is a good way to establish these closer relationships with the students and know not just about concerns, but also we talk about events, we talk about things that they want to see happening in the school, and how we go about making sure that that is actually implemented, and their opinions and their voice and anything that their expectations are met from our perspective of us, the leadership of the school, and then together with each representative of each class in grades 6 through 12, then they come to us and we meet with them regularly to determine the course of action to deal with some of these issues.
And speaking of engagement, you, the parents, are the stakeholders that we often try to stay in contact with. Mr. Cruz, how do we engage parents at Victory?
Many different ways. As we know, the parents are really important stakeholders in a school community. Students do much better when they have active parents that participate in all the events, that come to school regularly, that they have very positive communication with the students and the administration. So those students, we know that they're going to do a lot better academically. So we have different opportunities for parents to participate, such as the parent association, which we have a very active one. They organize events in the school, fundraising events, etc., and they work very closely with the administration. We also have the SAC, which is a combination of parents and staff, and we meet monthly to discuss the issues and anything that they need to know about the school. And we actually try to give them the information, and also to come into consensus in certain issues that affect all the stakeholders in the school building. And also, we do have many different events that we organize throughout the year, such as honor roll assemblies, as you see on the screen. We send newsletter to the parents regularly. And going back to the assemblies, I want to say that this is a very good way to not just to involve the parents, but also to make sure that the students are recognized for all their accomplishments throughout the year. So we do this 3 times a year, and we give the students awards, all the students from K through 12, awards after each report card. So we do it every 3 months. We do this. We also have report card night, which is an event that every school definitely does. But in our case, parents make appointments to see our teachers, and we actually do it 3 days in 1 week, with the teachers stay late 3 days from 4 to 6, so that we have enough time to make sure that every parent that needs to see a teacher makes an appointment, and they come and they discuss student performance, their grades, behavior, anything that they would like to know about their child. We give them the chance to come to the school and have that direct communication and contact with the teachers during these events. We also have something else that I wanted to mention is the parent academies that are on the screen, but I know that Mr. Clance, you're going to say much more about those.
Sure, thank you, Mr. Cruz. So as Mr. Cruz said, there's a lot of different opportunities for parents to provide input and or collaborate on the progress of their student. But sometimes parents need a little bit of training on, how do I help them with their math homework? What do I do to make sure that they can log into all the different digital programs? Or how can I motivate my student with what's going on in school? So to discuss those topics and explore them in the 2021 school year, we'll be having parent academies, which will not only train and give tips and techniques and strategies for parents on how to help their students' education, but also help them with their own lives. For example, how to open up a bank account, how to take on a loan, English language classes for some of our families that are new to the country. Part of building a community at Victory is making sure that we're empowering everyone. So we're looking forward to the Academy concept. I know Mr. Cruz already mentioned the School Advisory Council as a way to integrate parent participation and the parent perspective in the design of our program. So hopefully everyone's excited to join. Please ask our principal, Mr. Moreno, if you're interested in joining the SAC. And last but not least, a lot of parents often ask, how do you make sure that the teachers are teaching with fidelity, teaching in a way that's engaging to the students? And we start that by understanding that you bring your best to our building. So what we tell to, meaning your children. So what we tell to our teachers is, if it's not good enough for your child, your granddaughter, your niece, your nephew, then it's not good enough for any of the children in our school. And in order to empower them beyond kind of motivating them with that mantra, we do train them on the core content areas, the electives. All teachers get training, but they also get training through the summer to be ready for the school year, and throughout the school year, either through venues like you see on the screen or through individually requested coaching opportunities. So if a teacher at Victory wants to succeed and wants to help, we make sure they have every venue to do so. And that's the same approach that we have with our students. So that brings us to the end of the orientation portion. Likely if you're watching this video, it's because you're already enrolling or super interested in enrolling, in which case we'd love to have you. The next steps include submitting the documents that you see here. The registration form will be made digitally available given the pandemic at which the 2020 school year started. Excuse me. And the other things that you would need are the physical, the immunization form, the birth certificate, proof of residency and the address to make sure that it's within the appropriate distance and it's within Osceola, your parents' driver's license, and the withdrawal packet if you're transferring from another school. Once all that good stuff is submitted, if your student is going into 6th through 12th grade, you will receive email communication about selecting the elective courses and the academies that we spoke about a little bit in this presentation. And most importantly, please call with questions. There is no such thing as over communication. We love communicating with parents to answer your questions. We do try to make sure that all the information is available, whether through social media or through letters, so that you don't have to call every time you have a question and you can find that. But certainly we're always open to your questions. And with that, we would like to thank you, whether you're a student that's going to start with us in the fall, or whether you're a parent, a grandparent, an aunt, and regardless of who you are, welcome to the Victory Charter School family. And as we like to say here at VCS,
Go
nice.
thank you everyone, and we'll see you soon.